Hello and welcome to the Game Tag, an original tag created by Joe and Mary over at BookBuds. And be sure to go check out their channel and their video. It is an amazing watch. They created this tag to celebrate 1,000 subscribers on their channel, which is amazing, and big congratulations to both of you for amazing content. I always enjoy popping over to see the different videos, and I'm so glad that you achieved that 1,000 goal. Now, as far as the tag itself, I can't lie, I'm a bit nervous because I do know from the comments no one else has done this yet. And I get it takes a bit of work and planning and all of that, but it really is a fun tag. So I'd love to see some other people do it as well. I'm hoping I do this justice, and maybe by watching this, some people will feel a little less intimidated to give it a whirl. Now, the idea of this, because it is called the game tag, Joe and Mary went through some different games, and that's what the prompts are based on. The idea, of course, is to have viewers play along and see if you can guess the answer. And they've picked a number of different games. So for prompt number 1, 2, and 3, I'll leave the timestamp below where you can find the answers. But to play along, you can always just pause the video, replay a section as one's based on the game Charades. Let me know in the comments down below what your guesses are. I'd love to know if people could figure it out based on my clues. So prompt number 1 is based on the game Pictionary. Draw a picture, no letters or numbers, to get your audience to guess a book you read recently. Now, I did this ahead just to kind of cut down on time. This is based, and I hope you can see that, on a book that I have read recently. Let me know in the comments down below if you can guess what book this is. Now, number 2 is charades. And I haven't played charades in a long, long time. I do remember it being fun. And so I was trying to come up with what book could I act out, and I don't remember all the different signs and symbols. So here we go, and hopefully you can guess based on what's going to just be really silly. What I will say is ignore the antlers. They're just part of the having fun doing this in December. A current read, here we go for charades. And you can always play that back and see. I would love to know what people's guesses are for that. And like I say, the answers are at the end of the video. For prompt number 3, it's based on the game Heads Up. I think there's another name, and one person, you had a headband and a word there to guess the clues. So what you have to do for this one is 8 one-word clues, but it can't include the title of the book or the author's name. So here are my clues. And again, it's a book I've read and talked about recently. So here are my clues. Vampire, Susan, Holly, priest, teacher, writer, Mexico, and buddy. Hopefully, you're able to guess the novel that refers to. And again, like I say, you can always pause the video, go back and listen Love to hear what some of your guesses are. Now, the other two prompts are based on the card game War, and I used to love playing that as a kid, partly because, well, I grew up on a farm, didn't have a lot of kids close by, and it's a game you could play by yourself. It was awesome. So for this one, so first off, prompt number 4 is Book War. You need to pick 8 favorite reads from the last 8 months and battle them against each other in pairs until we're down to our top choice of the year. Now this, I'm glad I keep all my books that I've read monthly in a notebook so I could go through and check everything out. So the 8 books that I will be battling are right here. And I'm just going to pick them from the pile and we'll work our way down to see which one is going to be the top one. Now, first I have Breaking the Da Vinci Code. This is by Darrell Bach, and Salem's Lot by Stephen King. Salem's was a reread. I did enjoy it, but I have to say, Breaking the Da Vinci Code, there was a lot of great things that came up in this book. So that is going to be my winner from that round. The next two, I have Harry Potter, Narnia, and the Lord of the Rings. This is by Richard Abanes. And Encounters in Rendlesham Forest. This is by Nick Pope, with John Burroughs and Jim Peniston, who are both USAF retired. I enjoyed both of these reads for different reasons. Rendlesham, because UFOs and all of that type of thing fascinates me. Harry Potter, Narnia, and Lord of the Rings, because that tied in with the banned book project. And this book proved excellent. It provided a balanced view. I really enjoyed that part of it. So I'm going to have to pick the Harry Potter book, as much as I loved Rendlesham Forest. Next, and the way these came up, this is going to be tough. I have Monster Hunters by Tia Krulos and Haunted Canada, the second terrifying collection. This is by Joel A. Sutherland. Now, I just put up Monster Hunters and a review of this book. I like that the author went out with the teams and did part of the investigation. It was a fascinating read. I've read it at least 3 times now. I really enjoy the book. Haunted Canada, I've only read once so far, but I think it's going to be my pick. One, because I'm Canadian. I love learning about my own country and different things happening in it. You can tell, I mean, they both have lots of information based on the sticky tabs, but it was fun learning about other parts of Canada as well. So Haunted Canada wins that round. Now, Blackwater and Roswell. All right, this is going to be a tough pick. But as much as I loved reading Blackwater and being able to find out the ending of that 6 mini book series, Roswell provided a lot of fascinating information that I hadn't come across before. It has information in the background in terms of the timeline. So in terms of I can use to dig even deeper book, Roswell definitely wins. And I've picked Blackwater for so many other things. I'm going to pick Roswell. Okay, so now I'm down to 4. How do I pick? Well, actually, it doesn't matter which one. It's going to be hard. Haunted Canada versus Breaking the Da Vinci Code. They're both subjects that I enjoy. I've been on this Da Vinci spiral for a couple years now. Haunted Canada, I really enjoyed. but I like the detail this author went into with the research. So I'm going to have to pick that because there's a lot more investigation that's going to have to go into the stories in this book to track things down. That brings me to Harry Potter and Roswell. I don't know how to pick between these two. I appreciated the balanced viewpoint that this author gave, but I really like the detail and the research that this author put into the material, and there were a lot of new things that came out for me. So, how do I pick? I think I'm going to go with the balanced viewpoint. I love this book, but I love the balance in this, as in we have someone who understands both sides of the banned challenge book issue and really provided excellent information about the authors of all of these books. So now, which of these two do I pick? Because they were both researched. This has to do, of course, with the Da Vinci spiral and various quotes. This has to do with the three different series, although I also learned a lot about the Dark Trilogies, Philip Pullman. So I'm going to go with the Harry Potter book because this deals more specifically with just one subject. But I really like the rounded viewpoint this author gave. He's not into banning or burning or any of that kind of stuff. And he really delved into the issue of the books, the authors, why some people have concerns, and why people need to do their research before they jump to conclusions about authors and the meaning of things. So I'm going to go with the Harry Potter, Narnia, and the Lord of the Rings. And this was actually a fun find during one of my book hauls because it isn't a book I normally would have searched for or picked up. I just happened to be browsing the shelves and thought this may be an interesting read. And here it is, my top pick. Let me know if you thought that was going to be my top one. Next is Cover War. Ven, I would love to see you do this tag because I can't imagine how you would pick 8 books to battle over covers. We all know you love your covers. So, the 8 books that I picked, and I'm just going to check 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we're ready to go. So, how will I, well, here, we'll just kind of mix them up and we'll go from there. Okay, so the first two, the Amulet versus Hell House. Na 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 na. Don't know if you can, you've got the skeleton and the creepy house. Okay, now one thing I can't use is the feel, because this is a shiny and this is soft, which is a bit bizarre for a book, but it's a horror book, so maybe that's part of the appeal. But this is a war about covers. So we've got a creepy house with a skeleton and a hand reaching out for an amulet. I am going to go for the amulet because there's a bizarre design in it. You're just not sure what's going on there. But I do also enjoy this cover. Okay, we have politically correct holiday stories. We have the nice cozy window, Mr. and Mrs. Santa. And then we have this fascinating cover of why people believe weird things. Oops, should have mentioned this is by James Finn Garner. This is by Michael Shermer. Oh, my bad. Hell House is by Richard Matheson. No, I've never read I Am Legend. I never will. And if you know my issue with animals, you know why. But this was definitely a great read. Okay, back to Battle of the Covers. I love this one by Shermer. We've got the town, and it's cozy. Even though the subject in it is not so much, it's a fascinating read. I love this and Mrs. Claus kind of wondering what's happening there based on the covers. I think I'm going to pick the holiday one because they're kind of looking out going, hey, what's happening out there? Okay. It's funny how some of these landed together, but we have James Redfield, The Celestine Vision, and The Magic of Believing by Claude M. Bristol. Now, on the Vision, we have the beautiful mountain scene, all the different colors. If you've read any James Redfield, then you know about the insights, and I really enjoyed this book. The Magic of Believing. It's a nice, simple cover with the sun coming up. I love the message of it. Oh, it's a tough choice. Yeah, Celestine Vision. If I'm going by cover versus information, Celestine would catch my eye. Okay, then we have a book I've already mentioned. They're already here. That was during my UFO bit in August, September. And although there were things about the book that irritated me, I do love the cover. This is by Sarah Scholes. And Blackwater keeps coming up. I'm getting a lot of mileage out of this book. And this is by Michael McDowell. Now, on the cover, and I'll have to see if it shows up. I might have to... There we go. Turn the light on. So you can see we have a lot of black. We've got a creature here and a girl walking through and all the trees hanging. And this is also a softish cover like the amulet. Then on They're Already Here, hopefully you can see that, we have a woman, an observatory, and the night sky. And as I've mentioned, I do love astronomy. It's something that fascinates me. And so these two covers definitely get my attention for different reasons. The Blackwater one is nice and really ties in with the story, but I love me the night sky, and sadly, it's not something I can see often with all the light pollution in the city. So I'm going to pick that one. Down to how do we compare? We have the Celestine Vision versus the Christmas Window. Well, this book cracks me up, but I love the colors in the Celestine Vision. Night Sky versus Creepy Amulet. Creepy Amulet. Creepy Amulet versus pretty pastels and gorgeous mountains and trees. Oh, I almost can't pick on this one because I know with everything life-wise, this really speaks to me. But on the other hand, everything life-wise, there's something about this one too. So, yeah, I'm going to go for nature and the pretty colors. Let me know in the comments down below if you thought that was going to be my pick. So that was fun. And those are the prompts in terms of the games and the picks. So now, prompt number 6 is to share my answers. So if you haven't finished guessing yet, pause the video now. So my answers from questions 1 to 3. So Pictionary, that was what I had. And let's see if I can even find the book. Oh, here they are. Was the Haunted Halloween Stories. So I have my little pumpkin and my little ghosts. Hopefully that worked for people. The answer to number 2, Charades, actually came up in the book battle, and that was Monster Hunters. I couldn't think of what else to do in terms of, I guess the little reindeer things would have come in after all. Whoops, my bad. Oh, books fall, books fall. Whee! All right. And the answer to prompt number 3 with the 8-word clues also showed up before is Salem's Lot. And the reason I included Holly as part of the clue is that the character of Susan is so much like Holly in terms of her mother. Hope you enjoyed the video. It was fun putting this all together. Like I say, it takes a little bit of time and you kind of have to think through the clues and the books that you want to do, but it really is worth it. Again, congratulations, Joe and Mary, on 1,000 now plus subscribers. Much deserved. If you're watching this, prompt number 7 is to tag some friends. Again, I know December is a bit crazy busy, but it would be lovely to see some other people doing this tag and having fun with it. It really is a good time. And until next time, take good care.